So this leads me to the last part of this, which is, upskilling ourselves. What are we doing to make ourselves as current as we possibly can be, to have the right conversations, to keeping in the know in our own professional development? Part of that LinkedIn report said that on the average, L&D people spend 23% less time upskilling themselves than other people in their organization. So we are not particularly good behavior models. That made my eyes go like this when I read that in the report. So we need to do better at upskilling ourselves and finding time. So how are we going to do that, people? One answer: I'm going to be here every other Friday. Okay, there's one. Okay, what else are you?
Just put it in the chat, Shannon. Stuff like these collaborative things, right? So I mean, this is in essence a version of a burst learning for us, right? Caring and sharing and moving on, right?
Yep, absolutely. Shared experiences. We all learn from that. But other than plugging my stuff, what is it that you guys what can you do? What do you do?
I do ATD every year.
Okay.
I mean,
so you go to the conference every year.
International conference, even when I was self-employed and had, basically paying for it out of my own pocket. It's just that critical to my credibility in this profession. And I read the magazine, and I get to know the leaders in the profession, and that increases my wisdom. And I've been in this business a long, long time, and everything I've done has led me to this point where my wisdom is what I share with people. And then I can help them see why something won't work, or have you thought about this, or here's going to be the ramifications of that. And it gets so wrapped up into OD as well. And so that's become my world now. It's very tight.
I love that, Deb. You and I, yes, I see you. I used to do the same. Well, I do the same thing now. I mean, I'm own my own business. So whenever I go to ATD and if I'm not speaking, I've got to pay for that out of my own pocket. And it's the one conference a year that I will happily pay out of my own pocket.
Same way. It's just that valuable.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Shannon, I just like to share something too. 9 years ago, when I was working in New Mexico, of all places, near Carlsbad's Caverns, not a whole lot of chances for PD there. But I looked at my job. I was in like 20 years, doing it at that time. And what I found that was lacking in my career? I wasn't having fun. I was really good at what I did. It's almost like I was like at a knife edge. And I found out about this thing that K-12 teachers have called Ed Camp. Where it's an unconference where you go there, and what ends up being on the agenda is you look at the skills and knowledge, the know-how that people bring to the event, and then what the needs are, and then the 80-20 rule, develop the agenda right there. And it's rare now that I go to an industry event. I think I'm going to go to DevLearn next month. I think my boss wants me to go. But for the most part, I learn alongside kids, basically. Next in 2 weeks, I'm going to be in Texas learning how to be a teacher's aide. You talk about servant leadership, helping people. Yeah. And so again, does it have to do directly with L&D? No. Can it apply? Yeah.